Hey guys. Okay, so the question for this week, thinking of how systems of oppression manifest at OSU and how do you see your roles dismantling these systems? Okay, so this was kind of hard for me to think about just like as a first year student and I guess my position on campus, I feel like I can't do a lot in order to change what is happening, but that's the goal. That's the reason I chose to pick the CRF position, and I'm so passionate about what I do is because I want to be able to change the way things are and the system. It's just a difficult thing, especially like by myself, and I feel like your roles is talking about me personally, even though we should all be working together. Anyways, something that in one of the readings, and this relates to the question, is this was also a critique that I had about the readings, but it was talking about the implication being that people who are truly oppressed know it. And this was in the Shaping Feminist Theory, and I completely disagreed with this quote. I don't think that people who are oppressed always know it, or people who are at disadvantage always know it. And I think when you think about, well, on a personal level, like, I didn't know that all families aren't like the way my family is. I didn't know that my education and my high school is a way that isn't the way that all other high schools are. So like, even though these were advantages and sometimes disadvantages, I didn't know that. So I don't think that people who are always oppressed know it. I think that sometimes they can be in denial, or they can be in naivety and not know that like there is a difference, and like this is not the way that things should be. And as a CRF, I really do want to bring into light those problems and the consequences because of those problems, and help people on an individual level change the way that maybe they've been improperly treated, but change how they internalize that and carry that with them. I think that's a really important portion of it. But yeah, back to the Shaping Feminist Theory. So this is also with like, people don't always question their situation because they think that this is the way it is for everyone. There was a quotation that was like, a mark of their victimization is that they accept their lot in life without visible question. But then it kind of contradicted itself, so I was a little confused regarding this. But I was sitting and I was thinking about how women have been treated in the past, and how they basically, like, sorry, I'm changing this, like, is weird. They basically don't get time for themselves, and they're kind of criticized when they do take time for themselves in order to sit down, and this is referred to as narcissism or insensitivity or even self-indulgence. But like, if a man is sitting on a couch after a long day, but he's like drinking wine, it's perfectly acceptable because he has had a long and tiring day and he's been out working. But the wife has gotten up early, and she's made coffee, and she's made breakfast for the husband, and she has to prepare the kids' lunches and wake the kids up and make sure that they get to school on time. And then she has to make the husband's lunch, and she has to iron some clothes, and then maybe pick up the kids and take them to their after-school activities. And then, she has to rush home and cook supper and make the table and maybe do some laundry. And then when the husband's home, she has to set the dinner table and then wash the dishes. And then she's still called selfish if she wants to sit down and have a drink. Like, maybe there's a discrepancy of the value that the woman brings into the house, because it's not a monetary it's not a money value basically, but like, that woman is raising her children, she is supporting the household. I don't see how this can be self-indulgent. Something else that was really powerful was, being oppressed means the absence of choices, and many women in this society do have choices. So using words like exploitation and discrimination can be more accurate to use. And to a certain extent, I do agree with this. Like, maybe oppression isn't the right terminology to use. Sorry, everything's happening. Maybe oppression isn't the right terminology to use, but at large, women are oppressed, and I feel that we don't realize it in a lot of situations until it's been pointed out to us. Yeah. Okay, and then I had some thoughts about the video, The Impossibility Now. And there was a strong quote that was saying, the courts and the police system will never protect us. And this made me question things a little bit, because I don't believe that to be true. Like, I believe that certain individuals are very passionate about what they do, and they want to bring justice, and they want to bring into light all the negativity that is occurring in society. But because we have a perceived vision of what the police force is like, and all the discrimination that has been occurring in the recent years, we have this negative outlook towards policemen. But isn't that the same viewpoint that the white majority has towards us, that there's negativity because of certain reasons, but then they perceive us in a certain way? So we can't just say that no one, like generalize the entire population, saying no one wants to protect us, because that's not right. We're doing the exact same thing that they're doing to us then. Okay, and then something else that's really important was, what does the law actually do, not just what it says? And that like struck me as very strange. Like, what does the law do to people in poverty, people with gender confusion, or like disabled bodies? Like, what is the law actually doing to these people? But with the video, I had a question for everyone. So who do you think the target audience is for this? And do you think it's the government or the white majority? And maybe it's like used to inspire the people that are oppressed. Like, what do you believe? Because I couldn't really determine and like put my finger on that.